the government of His Excellency Senator Otu
Yeah.
is also seen to have the People First mantra. So if you align these two, the People's Assembly, the People's First mantra, you discover that what is common, the common denominator there, it's all about the people. And then as chairman, House Committee on the Public Service Matter, Public Petition, I have received a lot of public petitions coming to me, bordering on the skyrocket prices of house rents. And that actually awakened my interest and stimulated the need for me to carry out that motion, or take that motion on the floor of the House. Now, it is obvious that building materials are expensive these days, and it's very expensive to build a house. But it doesn't end there when it comes to the problem we are facing right now, because after building an expensive house, an agent comes and adds 10% of the rental cost to his bill. And then you go further to sign an agreement that has a fee attached to it, probably 5%. And then you still go further to have what they call the caution fee. By the time you accumulate all these fees together, the rent becomes very, very expensive, beyond the means of an ordinary person.
Yeah.
And Cross Riverans or Cross River State is a home largely to civil servants, low, middle, or low income earners. We don't have much of industrial activities, and yet, which
they're
I
still
believe
growing.
It's underway.
Yes.
And so, majority of us here in Cross River State, have our income is not too fantastic like that to be able to procure expensive accommodation. If it were a place where you can say, okay, like in Lagos, in the island, or in Banana Estate, so
groups.
by the time you go there, they say,
You know what you're going for.
You are going for something.
Yes.
But here is where we are all mixed together, and I think that we should be our brother's keeper, and we should be fair in our judgment, in our prices, and whatever we do.
So in as much as it was becoming a bill?
Well, actually, when you take a motion, you study how it is digested by the public. If it has a very good take and support from the public, you know that yes, it is a motion that is worthy of being followed up with a bill, because motions come up with resolutions. The resolutions are made persuasive. Although in the 10th Assembly, I must confess that our governor, Senator Davies Etta, has been very inclined towards implementing our resolutions. I must confess that he has implemented almost all the resolutions sent to him. I give him kudos for that. Now, what is rather compulsive or compelling is a law. When you come up with a law, it becomes compelling and mandatory that you must work, within the confines. So, having received a very wide public, support, we have decided to kickstart drafting of the bill that, when passed law, will regulate the activities of house owners, landowners that want to sell, those that are renting.
Because there's a chain, actually, not just the agent. Actually.
Yes, not just the agent. There is a chain. There is a chain. And the government also has a role to play. Okay? For example, now, in Cross River State, we have two basic building ingredients that are produced within the state. We have Lafarge that produces cement. We have a company in EPZ that produces rods. And these two products are very key in building and very expensive. So in a bit to curb this, the government can also go into partnership.
Well, you are the government, so you are part of the government.
Yes, I am telling you, I am just providing a larger picture for you, so that the landlord or the agent will not feel that they are being targeted. No, we are trying to reconcile the interest, stabilize the interest of the tenant and the landlord. And the government is in the middle. So the government is not going to be in favor of the tenant or in favor of the landlord. So while we are asking the tenant and the agent to see how they can make rents affordable, also the government is also seeing how they can go into partnership that will help the builders to build. That's what we're doing.
So okay, so that means that is a conversation, not
Of
an
course,
idea.
that is the conversation that is ongoing, and that is what we are putting down. That will eventually become
Wow, interesting.
a law.
That's very, because that makes a lot of sense. Because it's one thing to, then there's also the root of the problem, which begins from the source,
Which must be addressed.
the rods, the cement, and all that. And I'm happy to hear about that particular one there. Okay, now check well. If you check your family tree, if you look, see, you say, your cousin could be one agent somewhere. But at the same time, we want to make sure that this is to say that, in as much as we want to curb these excesses, some people are thinking we want to do away entirely with agency in our housing sector. Is that the case, or is there a way to?
On our daily basis, we pray for opportunities that will translate to putting food on your table to feed your family, and we also frown at unwholesome behavior, youth restiveness, and then of course anti-social vices. It would be very wrong of us to say we want to completely scrap out an activity that is directly or indirectly impacting on putting food on the tables of family. No, it is rather better or quite applauding or honorable to say that these activities be regulated in such a way that the agent is happy, the tenant is happy, and of course the landlord is happy. So we are looking at a regulatory framework, because right now a lot of the agents are not registered. If any of them is registered, they are not registered. And then if you go to clients where they are registered and checked, there is a percentage accepted or allowed by the law.
I thought we had that percentage until recently. No one heard about percentages anymore. 10%.
Well, I won't say for sure, because I have not seen any law that is prescribing 10%. It could be arbitrarily fixed.
Yeah, I think it was just a perceived. It was a perceived understanding in society.
If you go to other states, you see 5%. Of course.
Okay.
Yes. So it is. It's something that is relative, I must confess.
So, but your chest. But then again, what possible percentage do you think? Because I mean, houses are still not the cheapest in recent time compared to the past, right? There's a little bit of an uprise due to the economy, right? Which of course would take the landlords into consideration. But then again, what could be the possible line for the percentage for this house agent?
Well, it will not be very good of me to sit, on air and begin to tell you 1%, 2%, 3%.
All right.
Especially that we are looking at it as a matter of law. And then before you pass a bill into law, there's a very important stage we call the public hearing. Actually, in that stage, the public comes and speaks and then make their input. It is in such hearing that you can get to the right percentage.
All right.
And so that I don't say a figure here that will contravene the public.
That will go when it comes.
Thank you.
All right. So this will become a thing, or do we have some waiting to do?
Well, we may need to wait because there are processes or procedures.
Could you come in this year before the year wraps up?
Well, I would say that we should begin to have some of the hearings. We have first hearing, second hearing, third hearing. We should begin to have at least first or second hearing within the year, so that by next year we could use it as a New Year gift for crossing.
Oh, that would be good. That would be good. And I know this governor to have that character in him, so to give us a good landing as we begin our year. So thank you so much for your time. It has been short, but of course quite very impactful, giving the people what they needed to hear moving forward.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. All right, so guess what, my dear listener, up next is